In this lecture, we're going to design a simple calculator application. And let's look at the code, show you some of the problems we have with this code here, and we're going to solve the problem using arguments to the main function like we have seen in the last lecture. Here we have a few variables in the main function. They are of double type and we are going to do operations on them. We're going to be doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. But here I am just showing addition and division for space reasons, but you can easily plug in the code to do multiplication and division. And we're going to do that when we hit Visual Studio Code in a minute. The point here is that we have two numbers and we are doing a switch statement here to try and know which option the user wants to do. So if in C here we have a minus, we're going to do subtraction. If we have a plus, we're going to do addition. If we have an X, we're going to do multiplication. And if we have a backslash, we're going to do a division. Right now, if we run this program, it is going to do a division. But one thing you might notice, which is really weird about this program, is that to change the operation we are doing, or even changing the numbers, we have to change those in the source code. And we have to recompile the program and be able to get it to do something else. Hopefully you can see that this is really not practical. And you can even say that it is useless because the program is just going to be adding fixed numbers every time you call it, and it's going to do that forever if you don't recompile the program. We can solve this problem by using arguments to the main function and specify the numbers we want to do the operations on and the operation on the terminal when we call the program. And we're going to do that in the next lecture. But first, I want to show you how bad this program is. So we're going to go in Visual Studio Code, set it up, run it, and see how bad it really is, and then solve the problem in the next lecture. We're going to head over to VS Code and actually do this. Okay, here we are in our working directory. The current project is calculator version 1. We're going to grab our template files and do that. And we're going to paste those in place and open this guy in VS Code. We're going to drag and drop in VS Code like this. This is going to open this up. And we're going to have our main function here. We can clean it up a little bit. And we can take out whatever we don't need in the main function and take out the left pane here. We don't need it. I am going to just grab the code and put that in here because it really is easy to understand. We have just a few variables. We are setting up C as a variable which is going to store our operation. In this case, we want to do a subtraction. And this variable is of char type because we just want to store this character in here. I hope this makes sense. Then we are doing a switch statement to be able to select which operation the user wants to do. And once we select that, we're going to print out the first number, we're going to print the operation, we're going to print the second number, and then we're going to do the operation and print the result out. This is a simple program. We have to return zeros here. Let's check this out. This is a simple program and it is a valid C++ program. We can try and compile it. Let's bring up a terminal so that we can run it. And we're going to use GCC to compile this. The build is good, so we can clear and run Rooster now. You're going to see that it is going to do a subtraction between 12 and 33, and it's going to get minus 20.8. What if we want to do addition? Well, we can't really use this program as is. We have to recompile it because if we run it now, we're going to see that it's going to do subtraction 1,000 times if we call it 1,000 times. If we want to change the operation, we will have to go in here and explicitly say that we want to do addition. And then we will have to recompile it again. You see the bold is good, we can clear now. And if we run Rooster, we're going to see that it is going to add these guys up. What if we want to change the numbers that we do the operations on? Well, I hate to break it to you, but we will have to come back in our source code, change the number. For example, let's put in a 5 here, 5.0. And we're going to have to recompile the program. Then it's going to add these guys up. Let's do that with GCC. The build is good. We can clear and run Rooster. And now it is adding these guys up. Hopefully you can see that this program is pretty much useless because the moment you send this program to your users, They want to have the luxury of recompiling this program because they don't have the source code. What we really want is to give the users the ability to specify which numbers they want to do the operation on and which operation they want to do on the terminal when they are calling the program here. So for example, we want them to say rooster and say let's 10.0 and say they want to add these numbers, and they're going to say, for example, 20.0, and when they call the program, it's going to add 10 and 20. If they try to change the numbers that they pass here, for example, they pass in a 67.5 and they hit enter, it is going to add 10 and 67.5. This is going to give our users much flexibility. And from what we have seen in the last lecture, you already know that we can use arguments to the main function here. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in the next lecture. So we are going to stop here in this one, and in the next one we're going to introduce changes that will let the users be able to do something like this. Go ahead and finish up here and meet me there.